That's okay. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be doing some simple hairstyles on my cousin Rachel here. This was filmed last month at some point, so I don't remember everything I did in terms of the hairstyles, but I know there's some braiding and I think I used some scrunchies, so you can stay tuned for that. Also, if you prefer a no talking version of hair play videos, there is the no talking version already uploaded on my channel. It was posted 2 or 3 Thursdays ago, so you should be able to find it. I'm still pretty close up to the top of the video list. And if and when I remember, I will make sure to link it in the description as well as the comment section so you can find it easier. But it's been taking me a little while to do descriptions and all of that lately, just because dealing with a little bit of a funk, trying to find my groove again. This always happens after the holidays and when, you know, January comes, and then February's alright. But I feel like March is when I start feeling up to doing things again. And so, just trying to plan out what I want to do, and possibly have some branded videos that I'll be doing, and I'm just trying to sort that all out. So, yep, that's what I've been up to lately. And I figured I would tell you about this day when Rachel came over to film with me. We filmed 2 videos, this one and then a scalp check one, which is also already up on the channel. We didn't talk for that one. I'm not sure if a voiceover would be appropriate for that one, but that is available. So if you like those kinds of videos, you can find one of those. It has lights and hair parting, and I applied some hair oil, and I did some random measuring of her hair too. So we had to set up a massage table, take it down, move this little couch over here, move it back out. There was a lot of furniture being moved. But it went well. And if you do hear any background noise, if you're familiar with my videos or my channel, it is probably dogs or neighbors. Dogs being mostly my dogs. Sometimes we can hear other dogs. And then we've got neighbors on either side of me that tend to bump the walls or choose to completely remodel their homes at the most random times. So we filmed these, like I said, and then we waited for Jordan. Well, I think Jordan came home in between us filming, so she was actually watching us do, I think it was the lice check one, or not the lice check, sorry, a scalp check. So used to saying lice check. We did the scalp check video, and she was watching that and ended up falling asleep to us filming that, so that was interesting. And once we woke her up from her nap, we all went out to eat again. I think we're going to try to make this a somewhat regular thing where we hang out. We don't necessarily have to film every time, but yeah, where we hang out and then we go out to eat at a different place every time. So this time we went to one of my favorite places, and me and Rachel both got this mac and cheese that I absolutely love. It's so good. They put brisket in it, and it melts in your mouth. It's delicious. So she tried it, and she wasn't too fond of all the brisket in it, but she liked the mac and cheese otherwise. And yeah, we did that, talked a little bit, joked a little bit, and the most prominent thing I remember from that day was us leaving the restaurant, and these younger kids were all walking in a group together, and they stopped us. Well, they tried to stop us. Me and my sister kept walking. Rachel stopped and acknowledged them, but one of them, I assume, wanted to show off, and he just said to us, "Hey, check out my dance moves, what do you think?" And it had to be some Fortnite dance that he was doing, and yeah, like I said, Jordan and I just kept our eyes forward, and we were like, we are going back to our car, we are not talking to those kids, because it just seemed like one of those show-offy moments. I was like, we're just gonna keep walking. But yeah, when he asked what we thought of it, Rachel felt so bad afterward, but she was like, it's okay. And she started walking with us, and then the kid was like, "That's so mean," and then his friends were like, "See, we told you that was ridiculous. You shouldn't do that." So it was funny. It was funny. I'm just gonna say it was funny. Rachel did feel bad though afterwards. She was like, "Oh, well, maybe I should have said something nicer," but it's like, I don't know. What would you have done in that situation? Just think about it. I thought continuing to walk was the best thing to do. Just kind of like, whatever. But, yeah, so it was just such a funny situation. I do kind of feel bad for the kid. But he asked, I think Rachel told us she panicked in that moment, and so she didn't know what to say, so she was like, "Oh, I thought I said that, like, they're alright." But I think he took them like, they're alright, like, but he caught us off guard, and he definitely caught her off guard. We had opened the door and just stepped outside. It was so crazy. But we can laugh about it now. And, I mean, I hope those kids aren't continuing to poke fun at their friend for doing that, but it was kind of awkward. It was an awkward situation. So you'll have to let me know what you think about these two angles. I did have both of my Yetis plugged in, but this phone that we're looking at right now, this angle, is my older phone, so it kind of overexposes the image. I didn't think it was too bad in this one, but I think I had to edit some of the video in the lice check one we did because of the brightness. but the sound is different and I'm not sure why. Because we were in the same room. Joe was in the same room. And maybe it just is because of what it's sitting on. I like the idea of having two angles, especially when you can't see what I'm doing some of the time, but it is a little bit difficult to sync them, but this is my first time trying it, so we shall see. We shall see. Anyway, that was that day. Everything I remember from it. And I had written down some ideas that I was given on the no talking version of this for the soft spoken version, because sometimes I don't know what to talk about in the videos. And I know a lot of you just like me talking in general. It doesn't have to be about the video. With that being said, one of the things that stuck out to me was how I met Harley. And I was thinking I would save this for a video with Harley, but it's okay. I've recently had some phone calls with her, and so yeah, just catching up. Long distance catching up. So we will talk about how I met Harley. Where do I start? I moved when I was starting 7th grade. So I had gone, I think, half the year before I met Harley, like half that school year. And I think because the way our school had organized who's doing health class and who's doing gym class was kind of odd to me. I can't remember if it was like a semester or a quarter of the semester. But I think, for some reason, I think I had gym for the first quarter, and then the second quarter I had health, and then the third and fourth quarter I had gym again. I might be confused with my old school. Either way, I know I did health before I was in this gym class. So Harley and I were both in this gym class, but we didn't speak to each other. One, because I still am kind of awkward with conversating with new people, and I think she was about the same, although she had grown up with a lot of those people that were in the class, so maybe she just didn't want to talk to some of them. I don't know. I don't really remember. I just know that we had the class together, and we were put in a dance group. We had a section where we were grouped with, I think, at least 4 other girls, and then you had to come up with a dance to show the class, and it had something to do, I mean, I guess we were moving and dancing. That was workout related. So yeah, we were just put into groups. A lot of other people picked everybody they wanted in their group, and it was kind of just like us oddballs left over. I'm gonna say oddballs because some of the other people in my group were what I would consider an oddball as well. So, me and oddball, Harley didn't want to be, I think Harley was in a different group and she didn't want to work with them for some reason, so our teacher had asked if Harley could join our group, and I think we had 4 people in it, or we ended up with 5. I remember 2 other people that were in the group. But either way, Harley was put into our group, and the song we picked was Skater Boy by Avril Lavigne, of course, and we apparently did not follow instructions. Because I remember us getting told, I think we were being too literal with the song and doing moves, but I wasn't in charge. I was just doing what the other person told me to do. So, we weren't gonna make it as TikTok dancers. Let's just put it as that. Okay, we'll put it at that. But TikTok wasn't a thing at that time. So, we were in that group together, and then I think because we worked in that group, see, it's fuzzy for me now because this was 14 years ago, maybe less. I'd say 12 to 14 years ago. So the main part I remember is that we were also in another class together, but again, us being oddballs and like all of the, what I would call the popular girls, I'm putting air quotes on that, maybe they were just more outgoing and everything, but they would all group together. And then the same thing with the boys, you know, they would all be with their friends and everything, so we were just the few that were just like, sure, we can all be in a group together, you know. And this was FACS class, so it was Family and Consumer Science. And I think we were just all at the same table, but then we had a day where we had to make a Rice Krispie treat in the actual kitchens. So we made a Rice Krispie treat, and there's still a picture of it, like it's really old. It was taken on a really old camera, okay? I have a picture of this Rice Krispie treat, and that is what sticks out more in my mind. Harley has told me we like did the dance together, and after she reminded me of that, then it clicked, but I had completely forgotten about the dance, probably because I wanted to block that out altogether. It was just not a fun time. So, yeah, I remember making the Rice Krispie treat and everybody who was in our group, and then I just remember, because that was probably the last day of school, or one of the last days where we did that. Or maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was at the beginning of the semester. I don't remember. I just remember making a Rice Krispie treat, and I have pictures of like Harley sitting at the same table with me. It had to be the last day. I wouldn't take pictures otherwise, you know, like have a camera with me and everything. But I do remember us, because we were all at the same table, we were always in the same group, and I remember conversations about, around that time, Avril Lavigne had married Chad Kroeger from Nickelback, and that just was cool to me. So I remember us discussing that, and then yeah, and for that day we made eggplant parmesan, and that is the day I discovered I did not like eggplant. So those things are the most prominent in my mind from when I like met Harley. So it was in 7th grade, and it was doing those activities, and that's when we just realized that we as people had clicked, and we got along. So and ever since then we have been the best of friends, and we're always there for each other with everything. And it's just been a crazy ride, you know? It's been a crazy ride. In high school, we didn't have too many classes together. The only reason we did have classes together was because Harley would move from a study hall to my art class if it was the same period of the day. So I think that happened twice, and then my teacher caught on. Not that we were horrible in the class, okay? That, like, the teacher, I was probably one of her favorite students because my older cousin, even older than Rachel didn't go to the same school as us, but my older cousin was also one of her favorites. And so I think I was able to get away with a lot. I think I was, but I never was a bad student. I just, you know, sometimes I would talk a lot, and she'd tell me, like, you gotta be quiet, like, you gotta be quiet, and I'm like, okay, sorry. But, yeah, I just have fond memories of that art room and the teacher and learning. And, yeah. So Harley would swap into my class, and she would get upset because she would say she wasn't always the best at doing stuff, but I don't like to tell people they're not the best at art, because anybody can do art, and the whole point is that it's not going to look the same as everyone else's. But in an art class, when a teacher expects it to look one way, it feels like you're failing, you know? So I would always tell her, like, you're doing fine, it looks good, you're doing it, you know, it's okay, you know, if it doesn't look the same as hers or mine or anybody's. And I think she had also swapped into another one of my art classes with a different teacher, and that teacher was not very nice, but my younger cousin had then told me that art teacher was asking about me, and I was really confused because I swear she did not like me. I swear she didn't. And yeah, so we got up to shenanigans being in the same art classes, and other than that, Harley and I usually had lunch together. I think it was my senior year where I did not have lunch with any of my friends, and I would go to the art room and spend it in there while my art teacher was teaching a different class. She always let me go in there and sit at the computers and work on my other stuff for her, and have my lunch and all that. But yeah, Harley and I would hang out in the hallways in the morning because we had this amount of time. That snore was really weird. I'm sorry about that. That was definitely a dog. We had this allotted amount of time in the morning where we could do kind of whatever. Like, if people needed to get breakfast, there was time to get breakfast. And then you could go to any of the teachers you had to, if you had to catch up on work, and pick up papers and hang out with your friends. Like, the lunchroom was open, so anybody could go hang out in there. But I would always walk to my first period class and stand outside of it, or if the door was open, I would go in and sit down, but Harley would come with me, and we would just talk for the 30 minutes we had. And it was nice too because our buses would park next to each other, so like we would get off the bus and then wait for the other one at the end of the bus, and then walk in together. And Harley and I actually used to ride the same bus. Like, the first year of high school, we rode the same bus, but then I moved away from that route, so I had to be put on a different bus. But yeah, for the first half of the year, I rode the same bus. And that was really fun because I always had a seat buddy. And our other friend rode the bus too, so yeah. Good times, good times. There's something else I wanted to say. Oh, okay. I don't know. This might not be relaxing, so just brace yourself. But the bus driver that, I don't know if it was the same bus driver. I think Harley had gotten a new bus driver because we had a really nice bus driver that freshman year, and I believe it was senior year. Yeah, because she had told me she had somebody else then. Senior year, last day of school, it really shook me because over the bus intercoms, Harley's bus driver was like, whatever number the bus was, we have an emergency. They're all deceased. That's pretty much what she said. And so I sat up and I was like, what? Because two of my friends were on that bus. At least two of my friends were on that bus. And I'm just like, what are you saying? And so the bus driver was listening to what was going on, and Harley's bus driver was just freaking out over this intercom, okay? And, I think I was asking my bus driver what was going on, because I was always close with my bus drivers. And so she was like, I don't know, I'll have to talk to the people at the corral, and then, I'll know by the end of the day. So I was like, okay, that's fine. And then I texted Harley and our other friend, and I was like, are you okay? Like, just to see. I just was like, what happened? Like, can you tell me what happened? And she was like, what are you talking about? I'm not even on the bus yet. And I'm like, are you joking me? And I texted my mom, and I was like, the Harley's bus driver just said something horrible over the intercom, and it was a lie. And I feel the need to mention this because I don't think I said it earlier. I just kind of insinuated, but she was trying to convince everybody that they got into a horrible crash and that she was the only one who lived. So, anyway, yeah, just kind of a disgusting thing to do. And the bus driver thought that was so funny, but then if you think about it, like, that panicked people, and the people, like, so anyway, she got rightfully fired. End of story, she got rightfully fired. And that gave me horrible anxiety because Harley was supposed to come on with me that day. And yeah, okay, I can see that the video is going to end soon, so I'm going to say the typical ending things. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't yet and you like my random rambles while I play with people's hair, please consider liking the video and even subscribing. I am trying to get together a channel where I just do hair stuff over there, so once I have that figured out, I will announce that. If you are here just for the hair videos, there will be a place for that, because I know not everybody likes the mix of videos I do. Not that you don't like them, but they're not your typical thing you watch. So if you do just strictly like the hair play, there will be a place for that in the coming future. And yeah, thank you again, and I hope you have a good day, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, and I will see you soon. Okay?